I'm joined by Fara Williams and Steph Houghton as we are going to play a game of risk rating. So it's going to be based on the positions that are most competitive right now in the England squad. If we're starting with the number one spot, is Mary Earps guaranteed going into the Euros to have that number one?
At this moment in time, I don't think she's guaranteed. I think obviously it's between her and Hannah Hampton, and I feel as though probably prior to that Germany game at Wembley, I think there was a lot more people swaying towards Hampton. I think there's some goals that she could potentially have probably stopped and she probably could have saved, and I feel as though that might be the difference between Mary and Hannah in the terms of Mary in general is probably a better goalkeeper, but with Hannah in her feet, she is probably above Mary. So
is Hannah Hampton a big game player, Farah?
I'm not sure. I think that's where the question marks were in the Germany game. That was a big game. You know, we beat them in the Euros. They were coming back. I think it's so important when you have a goalkeeper that kind of has that presence. I feel like when I look at presence in terms of both of them, in terms of character, I think Mary has more of that. And I think to be an international footballer, you need that. Yeah, and you're both defenders. You know what it's like when you have a keeper that, you know, is confident in themselves. Don't rely on other people to give them that confidence. It just puts you a little bit at ease. And I think Mary has that now within the Lioness squad. I think it'll come down to the wire. I think it's not a decision Serena will make now. I think it'll be close. If it was me now being asked the question, I would have Mary Earps.
Let's move on to defence then, because there has been a lot of opinions.
So there's a lot of competition in them central centre-half areas that Serena needs to look at. I think the competition, in my opinion, is between Alex Greenwood, Millie Bright and Leah Williamson. And I feel like Serena likes to play Millie. That physicality that Millie Bright brings, which is far greater than what Leah Williamson and Alex Greenwood bring.
I think you're right in the sense of Millie Bright is different to Leah and Alex. I think in terms of ball playing centre half, you look towards them too, whereas Millie against Pop's retired now, but I'm thinking if Pop's playing for Germany, then you probably back Millie above anybody to kind of deal with them types of players, and that's kind of the people that we're going to come up against. And
she's a no-nonsense centre-half, doesn't care too much, can play with the ball, but doesn't risk the ball in areas that she knows she's not capable of doing. And that's why I think you have to play her with somebody different. With Leah Williamson being your captain, it then makes her, in my opinion, a dead cert in terms of them starting positions at centre-half.
We always are surprised when Alex is on the bench, and rightly so, because she stands out every single week. And then I'm thinking, OK, you've got three really good centre-halves. Do you change the formation, you fit all them three in to be able to actually provide our strength, but also to allow Lucy on the other side to allow her to bomb on.
Okay, a position that you know all too well. Let's talk about midfield then and the pairings in there. Do you think we've got a nailed-on pairing in there? I'm talking about Georgia Stanway, you've got Keira Walsh, or have teams started to figure her out now, so we need to switch things up?
Two things. Maybe teams have started to figure out Keira Walsh a little bit. Another thing, when you have no competition, you can get complacent. I know that myself, having been in that role and kind of feeling like you're always going to be that starter, you kind of like, you lose a little bit. You are complacent. I think that we need to find the next Keira Walsh. Who's going to compete with her? Who's going to make her better and push her? Because she's still young. She's got years ahead of her still. But I think when you don't have competition, it's very easy to get complacent. I think if we look just ahead of her, I think Stanway's position is nailed on. I think what she brings to the England team is a little bit different to the other players. And then there's that debate, who plays alongside her?
Who does?
I mean, Frank Kirby, you know, has come to form with Brighton and seems to be playing a lot more confident. You've got Grace Clinton continuing that form from what she had here at Tottenham last year at Man United.
And Jess Parks is a fantastic player, I think, in terms of that position and kind of being able to make the running behind defences, but also to create and score goals.
And then you've got Ella Toone, who I think is probably on the outskirts of that. I'm not sure she's playing at the levels we've seen about in recent seasons.
Would you use her more as an impact player within the England team?
Within the England team, Toone, for sure. For me, she's not a starter yet.
When you're in these competitions, you're playing every 3 or 4 days. I think physicality is a big thing. And what I see from Grace Clinton is that ability to get back and defend, be a presence in the box, but also now she's adding goals towards her game. For me, over these next 6 months, I think it's so crucial that Serena gives her that opportunity. For me, I think Keira Walsh, Georgia Stanway, Grace Clinton.
OK, let's talk attack. When we're thinking about, well, the number or the array of players that Serena Wiegmann has, do you think there's only one nailed-on starter? And I'm talking about Lauren Hemp.
I think there's two, Alex.
Go ahead.
Because I think Russo. Because I don't think there's a number 9 challenging her. They're trying to force Jess Naz into being a number 9. I'm not sure she's that player. I don't think she has. I know she's in the squad. I'm not sure she's got the qualities or at the level yet to be competing and pushing Russo for a number 9 spot. Now it's that right-hand side that they've got to look at and who can fit in there.
So where does Lauren James come into this?
I think we always
Probably
forget
there.
about, and I'm thinking if
Or the
Russo
10.
doesn't start as a 9, then you can either play Lauren James on the left-hand side and potentially a Beth Mead if she continues to progress like she is doing at Arsenal. I can only see Beth playing on that right-hand side. Also, Lauren James is the difference, I think, for me in terms of what she can do with the ball. I'm not seeing that many people that can do that.
It's a difficult one. Where are we going to get the best out of her? Is it on the wing? I'm not sure. Somebody like Lauren, for me, has to play in that team. I mean, her qualities are unquestionable.
What you say about making a difference, I suppose that player last Euros was Chloe Kelly, who's once again now in that frustrating space at Manchester City and for England.
Yeah, I think with Chloe, I think she knows her role at England. I think for me, obviously, of course, you want to be starting, but I think in terms of what she can do off the bench, she knows she can make that impact. And I think it's going to be a tough period for Chloe in terms of you're not playing as regular as you want to, but in terms of just staying it and having that attitude to do that and trying to compete at the very best is, for these next 6 months, is probably the main target for her.
There's always a breakout star, isn't there, in a tournament? So who is going to be that breakout player in the Euros for England?
Grace Clinton, if she keeps herself fit and continues the form she's been in, could be that player that starts for England come the Euros next summer.
Okay, you two, thank you. We don't have to have these headaches. We just stand and debate them. So we'll leave it all to Serena Wiegmann. But if you agree, if you disagree with any of this, do let us know. We will be looking at all of the comments and we might get back to you. But there's plenty of months to go to the big tournament. So plenty of time for the headaches and the debates to continue. But we look forward to it.